there are about 30,000 castes and 25,000 sub-castes in India. In such a country, there will naturally be many religious disputes and the people will become mentally, morally and economically oppressed. Thus, in the 16th century, the Bhakti movement was formed as a defense for the people of India who were experiencing psychological, moral and economic decline. The practice of Bhakti may have existed even in the time of Vedas. There is no clear understanding of the origin of Bhakti. However, Bhakti was popular in North India during the 17th and 18th decades. Bhakti spread throughout India in 16th and 17th centuries. Bhakti propagation takes place through interpretation of Vedas. Although the purpose of Bhakti is that all men are equal and there is only one God. But there were also divisions, mainly Alvaras and Nayanas. Alvaras believed in Lord Vishnu, Nayanas in Lord Shiva. Thus devotees traveled to different parts of India, reciting prayers and mantras about their ideals. Vadakalai and Thenkalai are the same sets of Alvaras. There are many differences between them, although they believe in the same God. The two groups have very different views in Bhakti, ways of thinking and salvation. These differences are going to be discussed in this paper. I am jumping to the main part. I told they have so many differences. Mainly I am talking the 10 differences regarding Lord's mercy. In the Vadakalai's view, some positive gestures is necessary on the part of the Jivatma to deserve the grace of God, because he can be deemed partially if he grants moksha to all, both deserving and undeserving. In Thenkalai's view, Lord's grace is spontaneous. He can grant moksha to anyone he likes. In regard, the next point regarding to the status of Lakshmi, as to her being the means, as to her being the infinite, as to her being Paramatma, in the Vadakalai's view, she is the mean for attaining salvation as much as the Lord himself, and also has the role of a meditator. She is infinite in nature, like the Lord himself. She is also Paramatma as much as the Lord himself. In Thenkalai's view, do not accept the position through, though they accept her recommendatory roles as held by Vadakalais. She is atomic nature, like other Jivatma, like any of us. Next point regarding Kaivalya. In Vadakalai's view, Kaivalya is inferior to Paramapada. Kaivalya is not eternal. It is situated outside Paramapada. And in Thenkalai's view, they are accepting Kaivalya, but it's eternal, and Kaivalya is within Paramapada, but is outermost parts. Next point is regarding the means of Bhakti and Prabhati. Vadakalai's view accept the both and the direct means, but Bhakti is more difficult and dilatory, while Prabhati is easy and immediate. In Thenkalai's view, do not accept any means because Jivatma is so utterly dependent as to incapable of adopting either Bhakti or Prabhati as a means. The next point regarding Prabhati. Vadakalai's view, Prabhati has to be a positive, specific act of surrender by the Jivatma to Paramatma. In Thenkalai's view, no positive, specific act is necessary. All that requires is the knowledge of Surupa of the Jivatma and eternal acceptance in the Lord grace in granting salvation. Regarding sins, Vadakalai's view, when Jiva surrenders, the Lord forgives the sins committed by the Jivatma and grants moksha. Thenkalai's view, the sins of Jivatma are source of joy for the Lord, who relishes the same like a cow licking of her dirt on body its calf. Regarding performance of compulsory duties like Sandhya Vandanam, Vadakalai's view, as compulsory duties are laid down by the Shastras, which are the Lord's commandments, non-performance will tantamount the transgression of his commands and will render the prabhana liable for punishment. Thenkalai's view, to a highly evolved soul, non-performance of compulsory duties is not an offense, but they should continue to do them more for setting an example to the less evolved souls. Regarding the interpretation of the words Sarvadharman Parityajya occurring the Charama Sloka. In Vadakalai's view, the dharmas actually refers to the 32 vidyas attaching to Bhakti Yoga, which had already been given by the Jiva due to incapability and delay involved in observing them, and the Lord offers to stand in their place. In Thenkalai's view, this is literally interpreted to mean first give up your duties and then take refuge in the Lord. Regarding the Lord's grief and suffering of the souls, Vadakalai's view, one cannot remove suffering of another, but the Lord is capable for removing suffering. So there is no need for him to grieve as Sri Rama. He shows to the world how a human would feel and how one should react on seeing the mercy of others. In Thenkalai's view, they hold that the Lord actually feels sorry on seeing the suffering of souls. Cite examples from Srimad Ramayana, where Sri Rama is depicted as grieving over the mercy of others. Regarding the Lord's being atomic as well as gigantic in size and mentioned in Vedas, Vadakalai's view, he is smaller than the atom in being that are atomic in size. This is called Antarvyapti. He is also greater than the greatest in the sense he prevails and surrounds everything. It is called Bahirvyapti. In Thenkalai's view, his being atomic enveloping even the biggest star, all done by what is known as Agatita Ghadana, special powers enabling accomplishment of even the impossible. The remarkable development of Vaishnavism through the scholarly works of Vedanta Deshika was further supplemented by the contribution of Pillai Lokacharya. Vedanta Deshika has slightly different from Pillai Lokacharya point of view. There is a different opinion of regarding Goddess position in Vaishnavism, a difference in Vatsyalayana's concept, and there is also difference between them regarding Varnashrama Dharma. However, there was a mutually agreed friendly relationship between them. Vaishnavism had no sex during the period. Division occurs only after the arrival of Manavala Mavuni. For the present, we may take note of the fact that the religion's level Vaishnavism grew on two parallel lines in later centuries as a result of the sectarian differences. But at the philosophical level, however, Vishishtadvaita Vedanta, as expounded by Ramanujacharya, has continued unaffected by these differences. Thank you.